Team strategies. These are some of the tactical things I've been talking about, questions I've gotten. My recommendations on this are as follows. Your team is going to be getting, if your team's still on board, they're going to be getting the $1,200 per person stimulus package. If they're under 75,000, if they're under 100,000, it's phased out. My recommendation to you, if your practice is going great, great. Don't wobble the boat. If your practice is struggling or you're closed and you're still paying your people, there's no reason for your people to get a raise when this is a small business stimulus package. This program is designed to incentivize small businesses and help boost up small businesses. Because again, if the practice dies, the people and the patients and the person that signs the check all wither away. The core goal of all of this is to keep the practice alive. Offset pay against the stimulus package. Figure out what a fair and even haircut is and offset that and message it in a way that says, listen, I'm trying to keep all you guys on board and we're trying to work through this together. And if this ship goes down, we all go with it. Use the SBA loans to cover essential employees, furlough teams that aren't productive. You may not have hygiene right now. Figure out how you can care for your hygienist, but also you've got to have an equal amount of care for the practice. And your job as the owner, as the person that signs the check, is to balance those two things. You've got to continue answering your phones. There's no two ways about it. And remote consults. I've had a lot of questions around remote consults. The goal of remote consults is not to diagnose. I had a doctor who may be on here tonight email me earlier, and he said, Colin, I don't understand the virtual smile assessment remote consult idea. I need to be able to do x-rays and see beyond pictures what's going on in this patient's mouth. I mean, what if they ask, what's it cost? What if they ask what their options are? What can I do? And that's a great question. And the answer is this. The goal of the remote consult is not to do any of that. So then you ask, well, what is the purpose, Colin? Here's the purpose. It's a meet and greet. That's all it is. You're establishing a little rapport. You're showing them that you care. They get to meet you and they get to have a quick chat with you. What does that cost, Dr. Smith? I want to fix this tooth right here. I want to fix this number 8, number 9, and I got this stuff going on, and I want to do some whitening or veneers or whatever it is. What's that cost? That is a great question, Mr. Patient. And I want to get you all the options and help you understand those as we go in this. It's really hard for me to be able to see exactly what the right solution for you is going to be right now. I need to take some x-rays and do a little more work, which is something I'd be happy to get you scheduled into my office, and we can go through all that, and then I'll lay out all the options for you, and you can choose the one that's right for you. Would that be okay? And I think the patient 9 times out of 10 is going to say okay. I think it's all in the expectations and the setup. If the person's coming on to that remote consult and you've said you can get all your questions answered and get all the information, I think that's the wrong expectation to set. This thing needs to be set as a meet and greet, as a can I help you kind of approach. I talked a few minutes ago about the implant doctor that's doing all remote consults. He only does all on 4s and all on 6s. And before he started doing remote consults, we had this exact same chat. He said, how am I supposed to do this without a CAT scan? I can't, what am I supposed to tell him? I said, okay, this particular doctor last year did 86 arches, 86 arches. I said, out of those 86, that was the 58% that he closes. So he had another 86 or something on top of that. I don't remember all the full spectrum of numbers above that. He had somewhere under 200 in-person consultations that he did, and he sold 86 arches out of it. 86 cases, sorry, not arches. Some of them were double arches. And I said, out of those 200 or so consults, how many of them could you not help? And he said 5. And I said, okay, and what was wrong with those 5 people? And he said, well, they all had uncontrolled diabetes, and they were all lifetime heavy smokers, and they were all on a cocktail of drugs that I'm not doing sedation when they're on a cocktail of drugs. And I just smiled. And I looked at him, and he realized he had answered his own question. Hey, Mr. Patient, tell me a little bit about your health history, and I can help figure this thing out for you. Do you have diabetes? No, I don't. Oh, do you smoke? No. Okay. 99% of the time, we help patients just like you to be able to chew comfortably and eat the food you love again. This is what some of the cases look like. Here's some of our cases. Maybe you have a little model sitting here on your desk that you're going to hold up and show how the All-on-4 works, or how, if you're doing some other protocols or whatever. And it's a meet and greet. The higher the case value, the higher the trust required. And that's all it is. It's 15 minutes, 20 minutes, meet and greet. They get comfortable with you, and then they schedule and they come in, and then you do those diagnostics. So this Smile assessment tool, which if you're a current client, we're giving it away to you. We're giving you the tool and the strategy guide tonight. And it's been available for a few weeks too, but you'll get it reminded to you tonight. If you're not a client, a future client, we're giving you our strategy guide, but we're not giving you the tool. The tool is proprietary to us. We can't, unfortunately, give you our programming code, but we can give you the strategy guide and show you how to go implement it. So we're going to give you that tonight. Rescheduling patients. My recommendation right now is that you reschedule patients as the office closes out to the future date, out to the best known date that you have right now. If you don't reschedule them, then you're going to be playing chase and catch up when you actually do reopen. Push them out 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, however far out your hygiene is booked right now, and go ahead and reschedule them. At the same time, you need to make sure they feel safe and secure. We've got a letter here, bit.ly.com/SB20 letter, that you can use and edit and take the letter and modify it to your needs to better help them understand their safety is paramount to you. This is the key that's going to be, this is the linchpin when you reopen your practice. This virus is not going away. Use the letter and make sure that they understand how important their safety is to you and your team. I'm going to recommend using the SBA for a sign-on bonus, right? If you have your team that's been furloughed and you get this SBA loan, what better way to make sure they come back and work for you than to give them a little sign-on bonus when they come back? Man, this has been bad for all of us. We've all taken a beating going through this. I want to help you as much as I can. And here's a little sign-on bonus. When we start back up, there's going to be a little extra sign-on bonus to help make things right in your world. And you're going to retain all of your people if you tell them that. That's key here. You want to retain your people. This thing is going to swing back. And I think it may swing back quickly. And if it does, you're going to need to be able to ramp up quickly. And finding good people is difficult. Now, on the flip side, I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity to hire really good people coming out of this. I think that the unemployment is going to be up significantly, and there's going to be a lot of great people available. But hiring is still a process. It's still a process. Now, we've got a couple things coming out right now. This is going to be coming out in the next couple weeks. we've got our top grading built hiring guide for dentists that's going to be coming out in the next few weeks. We've also got our pre-appointment for hygiene report. We don't even have a name for it yet, but we're going to dispel the myth that if your hygiene is booked out 3 months, that you're great. We're going to completely dispel that as a myth. You do not want your hygiene to be booked out solid 3 to 6 months. And we're going to show you all the data and the case studies and the backup for why. And that's also going to be coming out here very, very soon. That'll probably come out before the hiring guide. I finished the first draft of the hiring guide today. It's in a really rough outline form. And then it's probably going to take me a couple more weeks just to work through that before it gets to a final form. The hygiene scheduling strategy guide is already finished. It's going to design tomorrow. And that'll be ready maybe even for next week, probably the week after, just to give me a little bit of buffer in there. But yeah, we got some really great stuff coming out around that that's gonna give you guys some current or future clients some really good stuff.